Welcome back to the Customer Discovercast. This is Ethan Halfide, your host. This episode is brought to you by CustomerDiscovery.co, helping early stage founders connect with early adopters for idea validation and user testing. I'm here with Konstantin Meska, who is the founder and CEO of Hirio, which is a volume hiring automating tool. I actually don't even want to dive deep into the business quite yet because I want Konstantin to tell us all about it. Who better than the founder of the company? Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me today. Hello.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's 8 p.m. where you're at right now. I know you guys will soon be joining the American startup ecosphere or ecosystem, right? Actually, not so much a startup now, a more established business, but talk more about where you're from, how you got started, and how you got here today. Just a little bit of a background.
Yeah, sure. We're from Ukraine, and we started a little bit more than 1 year. So we started in January 2020. Before, we already did some startups, and together with my co-founder, we launched one of the startups that we sold in the early stage. It was 5 years ago after we worked in different technology companies. And someday we've met and we decided that we want to build something else, some new company. So from 2020, we started experimenting with different models in HR tech. And now we have a product, now we have customers, and now we're entering the US market.
Awesome. Well, before we dive too deep into it, give them your not your elevator pitch because I want you to dive a little bit deeper than that, but talk more about Hirio. What does Hirio do? Why is it unique?
Yeah, sure. So basically, it's Hirio, but some people call it Hirio because I think,
Hirio? How do you pronounce it?
yeah. So we think it's Hirio.
Hirio.
But
Okay.
maybe we should think about it. So Hirio actually it's a human first platform which enables companies to make this transition from offline recruitment process to remote first hiring process. How we do it? So we have this automation engine that allows you to build the hiring funnel that includes all the automation that helps to collect data from candidates, to send communication, so in the way of SMS or in some messenger. Also, it allows you to collect some personal data to do background check, so candidates can upload their like ID or driver license and everything. And at the end, the company or recruiter who uses this platform, he only look at super relevant applicants. So he doesn't need or she doesn't need to like filter all this 90% of irrelevant applications, and this allows us to increase the speed of the process like 3 or 5 times in average companies. When I use traditional way of hiring, when they need to do this phone calling, meetings and everything, they need to spend like 2 or 3 weeks to do like one hire. And with the platform, they spend just few days, like 2 days, and it's done.
Awesome. Wow. Very clearly communicated. And I certainly see a use case for us. You know, we're going to be fundraising soon. And with that comes hiring, as you know, right now, because I want you to, I found you, I think through Crunchbase. Like I get notifications. I was like, whoa, this company is really interesting. You guys just raised. Talk a little bit more about, what you raised, what you can cover, because I know some is probably confidential, but the entrepreneurs that are listening to this, a lot of them are fundraising. So speak a little bit more about, how you just raised, what you just raised, and your immediate plans.
Yeah, definitely. We raised our first investment round. It was at the end of January 2021.
Exactly a
And
year
we did the
from when you started.
yeah, yeah, basically, yeah. In 1 year, yeah, in 1 year. So we did it in 1 year, and we raised a round with 20 angels. Basically, most of them are from Europe, but 20% of them are from the US. Yeah, so they're not actually local angels like from Ukraine, where we're originally from. So most of them from Estonia, Germany, Ireland. And yeah, we did this round to have some fuel uh, to make our expansion just faster, because we understood that we would like to move further and we would like to tackle the global market, and we are starting from the US market. So we showed some results on the local market. We validated the product market fit, and we've got some traction. So we have like some revenue already, and yeah, we just came to the investors and showed them this progress, and explained the vision and strategy that we have. Yeah, and they like believed what we're doing. So yeah, now we have the runway for next 12 months to build something on the global market.
Congratulations, man. Are you allowed to say how much you raised? It's okay if you can't.
Yeah, sure. It's 400,000 K dollars.
For 100,000
Yeah,
US dollars, right? Or
yeah,
is it UK US dollars?
it's US.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So one, okay, that's really good. What I want to get at now is to even go before that, right? Because within a year, it's like, how did you get there? How did you get your first customer? And it really, like, what amount of, like, what fidelity of product did you have to get that first customer?
Basically, it's a funny story. Since when we got our first customer, and they just said us that let's launch. We want to test the product, and we were not ready because we didn't have the product yet. So how we did it? We started selling the prototype, the products from the first day, and we were trying to adjust the platform, to adjust the features just on the way. So we were going to the meetings with the customers. So most of the customers were retail companies, some supermarket chains, or some e-commerce players, and they were telling us like what are the challenges, what are the pains, and what they want to solve with our solution. And like we were understanding step by step how it should look like, and it was like in parallel. So we were doing sales and we were doing like product development, and some of point of time it was out of our control, and one of customer like was ready to launch, but yeah, we need 2 more months to yeah, to build up the product. So we postponed this launch, but now we are working with them, and we process like about 10,000 of candidates a month with this company. So it went well. But yeah, the problem was that the very beginning, like we had to balance between the product readiness and the customer expectations when we can launch, and what they will have in the first version of the product, because they're realizing that like they will have some portion of features on the first stage, and then like we will deliver next version of features maybe in half a year. So it was also a challenge to convince them that that it's okay, and they can trust us.
Yeah, nice. So I guess I want to know it's a two-part question, okay? What was the biggest roadblock beforehand? You touched on it a little bit, but what is the biggest roadblock now? Now, like with raising investment, do you have more customers since that first customer?
Um, yeah, actually, we have one first customer from the US, from California. They're doing delivery services. Yeah, and most of the customers still like from the local market.
Okay, so you have multiple customers, but what I'm getting at is what was the biggest hurdle before your first customers and before funding, and now post first customers and post funding?
Definitely, yeah. There is not so now we don't have like less challenges or less responsibility, or we have like more, I don't know, more ground under ourselves. I think it's even harder, because when you want to get first customers, like you can just uh, like say that, hey, so we have this product and we will launch it, and it will solve your problem. So we can make some like assumptions for them that everything will work. And when we need, like, on this stage, we need to scale these successful cases. So it's not like this. So you you have a lot of issues about like stability. You have a lot of issues about how to like work with all of these customers on the platform, because you have like a lot of like more and more users, and the different challenges. And also for us right now, it's a key, like, um, I think, key challenge, that we need to enter like a new market, and like the task is like much more difficult that we had before, because it was our local market, and yeah, we understand it better, and like we are here, uh, and yeah, so now, yeah, I think this level of difficulty, it's much higher, despite we have investments. I think the task, it's not less difficult than it like was 1 year ago.
Really? Is it getting harder? It's getting more and more difficult.
Yeah, because now you're also limited with time. Yeah,
Mm,
so yeah, when you have this first round, you build expectations of your initial investors, and these investors, they expect that you will show results very quickly. So your speed will be very high, and your traction will be like growing as crazy, because on the early stages, I think it's not only a matter of like some numbers or some rational, but a lot of like trust and faith, so and gut feeling. So if they make this decision, they like have something that they can feel, and they
hmm.
can believe in great results. And so of course we don't want like someone to be disappointed. So not only us, but like we have 20 people that invested money in our company, and that creates like a bit of responsibility, that creates a bit of like feeling of urgency.
Hmm.
uh, so
A little
yeah.
bit of stress, a little bit of stress as the founder and CEO, right?
Yeah, but yeah, but maybe that's not the main point here. So I
Hmm.
think the main point here is that there is like no way back. So we can't like stop doing this and start do something else.
Mm.
And
And before you raise funds, you were like, yeah, if it fails, you can just kind of jump ship and go start your new thing. Now
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, we're
sure.
really in this. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a dead
Wow.
zone left, like when you don't have so much air, and you need still like to be on the ground, and you need like to push this the like huge stone, and
Hmm.
yeah,
How
you
big
just
is the
have to.
team? How big
It's
is the
seven
team
people
right
right
now?
now.
Seven
Seven
people
people.
right now. And with the funds received, are you hiring people or are you trying to get to your next pricing round with these 7 people?
Yeah, we were 5 people before we've got this
Oh, okay.
fundraising. Yeah,
Hmm.
so we already hired 2 people, and of course, like we plan to hire a few more people this year, especially like for business development goals in the U.S. market. So yeah, probably we'll grow as a team in next month.
Interesting. So, that's always a really interesting price or point that you're trying to make, because what I'm getting at is, from my research and from other founders I've spoken to, the most common investment vehicle, and for those of you that don't know, your first round of investment can often be a post money safe, pre money safe, or convertible note. Seems to be the easiest way to raise money as a first time founder, or your first round of investment is a convertible note, which is essentially convertible debt, right? They give you a certain amount of money for the right to buy in equity at a later date, but it's essentially like a loan. Is that the same use case for you, and that's why there's a very strict timeline around what you're doing?
Actually, yeah, this was not connected with some legal issues. We did legally we did the round with safe agreement. Yeah,
Hmm.
so it's a type of convertible note agreement.
Right.
It's more simple, so it doesn't contain this thing about time frame and some
Interest and stuff like that,
yeah,
right?
so
There's no
so
interest with a safe, right?
it's no interest, so yeah, the terms are much more simple.
Yeah. I mean, as a founder, I from the research I've done, because I've gone through Y Combinator startup school and I've seen the different investment vehicles, I'm not sure why a founder would choose a convertible note over a safe, whether it's pre-money or post-money. It just seems like a better investment vehicle. It's more founder friendly. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. So for founders, and I think for investors as well, safe is the best option.
Yeah, I know on the East Coast where I'm at, a lot of angel investment firms, they prefer convertible notes, and I'm like, that's interesting. But now, it's really exciting what you guys have going on. And you've touched on this a little bit. You raised 20% of your angels of the 20 that you raised from are American. And that's because, congratulations, you were coming to Chicago, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, talk about that. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Have you ever been to America before? Like, talk a little bit more about what's going on there.
So last time I've been to San Francisco 2 months ago. So in December, I had a 1 month trip.
Was that your first
Uh,
time?
yeah, and
What were your
that's how.
thoughts?
Yeah. What were my thoughts? Actually, when I came, I think the situation was not very usual for the city because it was a lockdown and everything was closed and no people on the streets.
Right.
Yeah, so all people are really sitting at home and maybe gathering at some apartments. So maybe in terms of activity, in terms of dynamics. So the city was quite slow. Yeah, but it was quite productive. And yeah, I met great people there. So yeah, we are going to move to the US, and like the first market that we want to test. Yeah, it's Chicago, and we think it's a good place to start because Chicago has a great Ukrainian community, and there are a lot of people who have pretty same culture, and I think it can really help you on the start. But yeah, we're looking at this like a market test. So we already have some insights, some data, because we do some calls and emails and business development. We're doing it already from Ukraine, so we already understand what are people want, how they think. Actually, businesses, how they tackle this problem of hiring blue collar workers and everything. And we
Hmm.
just want to go and validate this locally.
Sure. And then, does that mean office space in Chicago and each of the founding staff have apartments over there, or how are you going about that move?
I think it will be pretty simple. So we have Craigslist or something like this, and we will use some platforms, just contact with hosts. I don't know. So when I was
Airbnb. Yeah. You
maybe
can use
yeah. So
Airbnb.
when I was planning my trip to San Francisco, so I did the booking in 2 days before the flight. So not as spontaneous, yeah, than planned. So
Nice. Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, that's exciting because I don't know if we touched on it. When I first moved to New York, I moved 15 times, right? So like Airbnb to hotel to hostel for a little bit, got bed bugs for a while, and then kept moving. Finally found a good apartment. But in New York, it's unique. I don't know if it's the same way in Chicago, but Airbnb is illegal in New York. So you technically can't use it. People still do use it, obviously, because I stay at Airbnbs. In Chicago, I think it's legal. I think you're good. So people won't have to hide it. But I also, what was really helpful is if you're on Facebook, there's Facebook communities where it's like sublet apartments and find apartments, and there's people that are moving out, and that should be really helpful. We'll see, because it seems like you're probably going to end up waiting until the last minute to find an apartment, right?
yeah, yeah. It's a habit.
Well,
Yeah, basically,
yeah,
yeah, it's a idea with communities. So we already like use these communities to make some connections, and yeah, I think we can also use them for finding some apartments as well.
nice, awesome. Well, that's very exciting, man. So what I want to say is, I like to kind of end on a personal note as well. And I want you to share with the listeners, what has been the most important thing you've learned about yourself that has helped with your business and your journey so far?
Basically, I think the main thing that I always remind myself is not to give up. So sometimes, especially when you're like trying to do something new, or either building a company, or I don't know, mastering some new skill or something like this, you always face with like barriers, lack of understanding, lack of confidence, what's gonna happen, and you don't know like what is the plan actually, because you never did in the past. So you could be pretty calm and relaxed when you're doing things like for 10 time or like 20 times before, but you're really in some stress, and you're really like always nervous when you're doing something the first time. And the one thing that always helps me, that I remind myself that you just need to wait a bit. You just need to like keep doing what you started to do, and in some matter of time you'll find something, so results will come. Yeah, that's I think the most important observation that I made for last years.
Awesome. So be comfortable learning on the fly and be patient because results will come.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Man, that's awesome. Where do you want to be in a year from now?
Yeah, you mean with the business?
Yeah. And personally as well.
Yeah.
Well, in Chicago, right? I don't mean like physically what location, but just in general.
Yeah, basically, this is pretty simple. Pretty simple question for myself when I ask it, like how I see myself and what I'm doing in 1 year perspective. So we have a plan. We have fundraising plan, and we have our like business development plan. And from the fundraising perspective, in 1 year, we're going to raise seed round. And we are aiming 2 million round size. And to achieve this, so like to be interested on the market, we need to achieve some traction, yeah. And we measure this traction in revenue. So our goal is 50K in MRR in 1 year. And of course, to reach the situation when the users they love the product. So we don't want like just to gain a lot of new users and they like leave in 1 month or 2 months. So basically, we are trying to build like fascinating product, so the product that users love. Um, and I think if we reach this milestone, so we have users who love our product, who remain on the platform, who add like more and more content, more and more value to the platform, and like it is represented in the revenue, in the money they pay into us, and yeah, we have some interest from outside, from the market. So that things that could make myself happy, and I think I will be okay with only like this marks this milestone that achieved.
Yeah. And also you want to make sure that you're in a good place mentally as well. You're handling all the busyness of being a founder and CEO, and never neglect that. That's always important as well. You're the
Yeah,
captain of the ship, you know what I mean? Got to take care of yourself.
yeah,
Um
sure.
but what the other thing I was going to say as well, pertaining to making sure people can't live without your products. Do you guys use KISS metrics? You perform customer discovery, and then you kind of say like, all right, 8 out of 10 users say they would be very unhappy if this product weren't to exist, or they can't live without it, and you guys track that, right?
Yeah, we have so we have two ways of tracking the user behavior. We use Amplitude actually, so not a mixed panel, but Amplitude is also okay. It helps us to track like user metrics, how many like actions they do on the platform, like what is the scenario that helps them to achieve their goal on the platform. And also we have like right now we have only internal database where we can track like number of ads, number of applicants on the platform, and some other metrics.
Nice.
And that helps us actually to track like whether the customers are happy or not, and like to prevent them leaving the platform. So if we understand that we have some customer and he so we see that this customer started, we see the decline in terms of ads he's like sending to our platform, so we can call directly to this customer and ask like what's happened.
Hmm.
And this helps us really like to keep an eye on what's going on with every customer and
Yep.
react very very quickly.
To do a root cause analysis to understand why they churned and how to prevent it in the future, right? Well, that's awesome. I was going to say, if you ever need help with customer discovery, I'm your guy. But yeah, but awesome, man. I mean, Konstantin, this has been a pleasure. You shared a lot of useful advice, a lot of useful experiences about, kind of the ups and downs of, starting a startup and going a year to become profitable and raising money. And now you're in your second year and you have so much potential and growth ahead of you. We're really excited to keep up to date. I definitely will be booking a follow-up show with you, maybe less than a year, to keep track on your progress and check back in. Okay, so everyone can say, how is Constantine? We want to know. So for now, thank you so much for joining the show. Tell the users how they can get in touch with you. I wouldn't say don't attach your email. You don't want to get a bunch of emails, most likely. If you do, that's okay. You can say it, but maybe your LinkedIn, social media, anything like that.
Yeah, I'm active on LinkedIn, so you can find me like on LinkedIn and just throw me a message. I would be happy like to have a chat.
Okay, I'll attach that in the show notes. Okay,
Yeah.
Constantine, thank you so much for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, like to have me here, and it was a great discussion. And thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining. Have a good one.
Thank you.